Hello and welcome to Q&A Tuesdays. My name is Ideal Formado and this is Styledby Abba TV, the place to build a life and work that honors God and impacts the world. Today on Q&A Tuesday, we have a question from Tola, and Tola says, Dear IJ, how can I bond better with my kids as a busy mom? Wow, amazing. Tola, I really must commend you that you have taken the time to notice this and this is something you really want to do. I must commend you that you have not allowed your busyness to give you an excuse to not bond with your children. And I have to commend you that you have not gone the way of a lot of people who say they are children, they can take care of themselves. For that, or for all these points, I really do commend you. First and foremost, as always, I would say start with God. I don't know if you've prayed about this, but if you've not, start to pray about it. Start asking God to help you. See, the God that gave you the responsibility that is making you busy knows that you have your mother and you have children to take care of. And he also knows that family is priority. So you need to involve him and ask him to help you with the blueprint and the wisdom to know how to navigate this busy season of your life. It might be that there are some things you need to handle better. It might be that you need to handle your time better. It might be that there are some things you need to delegate. Or maybe there are some things you're doing now that are not necessary, or there are some things that are necessary, but you need to do them in a better way. Whatever the answer is, God can lead you to it. There is a blueprint for every assignment he has given you, such that the things in your life in that season will not suffer. God is a master planner, and when he tells you to do something, he will always lead you. Now, you could say, okay, God didn't tell me to do my job, I just have a career. Still involve God in it. Ask God to open your eyes. Ask him to give you wisdom. The Bible says when you acknowledge him in all that you do, he will direct your path. So pray and ask him to direct your path. You might not have gotten him involved in the beginning, but ask him to help you now and be willing to do whatever he asks you to do. Open up your heart to him. He's going to lead you. He's going to guide you. So the first thing you're going to do is to first of all involve God in it, because that is the foundation. I could tell you the other things, but if God does not help you, your business will not make it possible. All right. The second one is, I'm going to just give you 3 points, 3 or 4 points. But the second one is find consistent connection points with your children. Now, as a busy mom, typically your time is filled up. So you need to be very strategic and clever in spending time with your children. I'm going to tell you what I do. Try to make a daily touch time, a daily, daily touch point. Try to make a weekly touch point. Try to make a monthly touch point and a yearly touch point. Now, the longer it is in the time, the more you get to spend. For example, you can say every day, for example, I want to spend 5 meaningful minutes with my children. So I come back from work and for 5 minutes, I'm not with my phone. I just want to ask them, how was their day? What did they learn in school? Who did they play with? What happened? What new things? Is there something they want to tell mommy about? It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, but make it meaningful. Make it meaningful. Let your children look forward to that time. You can infuse fun into it. You can do it on the dining table. You can call it a pet name. You can say it's hang out with mommy, for example, or you can say it's just time, but let everybody know, hey, it's just time. Everybody starts coming, so tell me, how was your day, and all. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, but those are the memories that your children will grow up with. All right. Number 2, find a weekly touch point. So you can decide to have weekly family days. For example, my family day is it's Sunday. My husband's special family time for us is Friday evening. Now what that means is that on Friday evening, he typically works very long hours, but on Friday he shuts down, comes out, and because we work from home, and he spends time with his family. If he has appointments, he usually doesn't have appointments around that Friday, Friday evenings. And I understand because his kids can be quite busy on Sundays. On the other hand, my own family time is Sundays. Now what that means is that for Fridays, I join in with the family time, but sometimes I have 1 or 2 things doing, but he gets to spend time with his children. But on Sunday, we spend time together, and then we also have our own date night. But each of us have created a time to bond with the children. Do you understand? So find out something. You could decide to have weekly family days. It could be Sundays for you. Most Nigerian families use Sunday to connect. So on those Sundays, make it fun. it's good to go out and visit friends, but the day that is your family day, try to make it center around the family. It could even be a few hours on an evening on the week, in an evening in a week. Just find something great and beautiful to do. You could go out on dates with your children, ice cream dates, pizza dates, visiting the zoo, visiting dates. Or you could even go out with your children. You could drop a timetable and say, every week I'm going to have time with my children, but it's going to be in different things. So the week 1, we will go and have a pizza date. Week 2, we'll have ice cream date, because you can't have ice cream every weekend. I don't even encourage it. Week 3, you can say that I want to go playing in a park or a zoo, or a beach, but it's an outing date. It's not an eating date, and then week 4, I want to go with my children to their friend's house, and play with them, let them bond with your friends. But you have that timetable. So the week that it is, okay, this is what we're going to be doing. You could say, okay, week 1 is an eating date. So you can do pizza or do ice cream or do shawarma. Week 2 is a play date, so we can go to the beach and play, or the park or zoo. Week 3 is a visiting friend date, or week 4 it's something. Just be creative. There are a lot of options really, but try and make it weekly, even if it's an hour or 2 weekly. Find that time. And really, for you as a woman, you should have one day in a week that you are just off any kind of work. And for those kind of days, you should infuse self-care for yourself and also for your family. It makes a whole lot of sense. Number 3, especially if you're very busy, because you might not be able to divide it amongst other days, or you have something you're doing by the side. Saturdays might be accounted for. So Sundays, for example, I'm giving an example. Some people use Mondays. Those who don't work 9 to 5, a lot of them use Mondays. But find a day that works for you. Then if for monthly, you can say that every month I want to do something with my kids. You can even say, okay, I don't have the time to do this every week. So every week I'm going to spend time with my kids still at home, but maybe it's going to be 30 minutes. For example, maybe I'll do movies with them in the house. Or maybe we're going to sit down. That one day in the week is that day when I'll sit down and watch cartoons with my children. So I just with them 5 minutes, 10 minutes during the week. But on this particular day, every week I'll sit down and watch cartoons with them or read with them, and all that. You don't have to be going out, But then you can now move the going out to monthly. So you can say every month they're going to choose where they want to go. So we want to have pizza date this month. We want to go to the zoo, want to go to our friend's house. But it just happens once a month. Now that is the sacrifice you get to make. But it's only once a month. So you can decide to cut out half of your an entire afternoon, maybe 12 to 6, and say in this month 12 to 6 it's just me and my kids. What are we going to do, kids? So it's something that we plan for and you do every month. So whereas once a week you sit down and do movies with them, or you read books with them, or you find a way to bond with them in the house, maybe an hour or 2, those monthly bonding time is longer. Now there is the quarterly or yearly bonding time, which is when I encourage that you try to go on vacation with your children. Now you can do staycation with them in the house, where you just take time off work and spend a week or 2 with your children, or you can travel, but find a way to always spend time together with your children, especially during their holidays. So it's you have a daily touch point, a weekly touch point, a monthly touch point, and a yearly touch point. I won't say quarterly really, because it might be too much. You can't take 1 week you can take 1 week every quarter, but you can take 2 weeks every year, 3 weeks every year. Spend some time with your family as a whole, with your spouse, with your kids. And then you can even say, okay, I want to spend the whole family. I want to spend with my spouse too, but for this particular 1 week, it's me and the kids. Maybe your spouse is still working. Or you could just do it all together. Why I said you and the kids is because if you really crave that bonding time, maybe you feel a disconnect already. So you might want to invest more in your relationship with them. But it's always fun to do it all together as a family. So create touch points. Okay, now the next point that I'm going to say is connect with them. Find a way to connect with them during the day. Let me tell you what I do, or let me just make it general. So you could call them, if the school permits. A lot of schools don't, but if the school permits, you can call them during your lunch break to talk with them. If the school is, maybe it depends on how old your child is. I think they usually allow that in nursery schools. But then, or when they get home, you're sure that they've gotten home by this time. You can call home to ask them, how was your day? Okay, mommy loves you. Take care. Bye. Do you understand? But that will let your children know that I'm at work, but mommy's thinking of me. I mean, it could just be a 1 minute call. It could even be a text. And depending on how old your child is, maybe they're in secondary school, but they know that mom is reaching out for me, you know. You don't want to ask them anything, you just want to know how they are, you know, and all that. It's those things let them know that mommy cares about me, and it creates a one place in their heart that yes, mommy is very busy, but mom is thinking of me. See, with children, sometimes it's not really about the length, it's about the quality. It's about the quality, the meaningfulness that you put into those seemingly little moments. Those are the things that count. And as you apply yourself to that, God will help you. By the grace of God, God will help you. All right? Thank you so much for reaching out. I really do appreciate you, and do have an amazing rest of the day. And to everyone watching, thank you for tuning in. See you same time, same channel next week. Bye-bye.